And the tier 6 reckoning. Oh, I got some unoriginal thoughts about this one, so strap in. It sucks. More specifically as to why it sucks. They're selling Caius way too hard on this. I understand they have to have some kind of synergy bias for every stage. That's inevitable. This is a gacha game. They have to think of some reason to get you to pull, but some of those reasons are better than others. And for this one in particular, it really was just like, hey, Caius has a lot of debuffs, so let's just make this contingent on having a lot of debuffs. Who gives a shit what the debuffs are, the purpose of those debuffs? Let's not get in depth with how these debuffs interact with the fight and how they can save you. No, just paint them red with as many debuffs as you can. Just senselessly, really, is what it feels like. Because think about how we normally build teams. What is the one thing all of us usually try to avoid 99% of the time? It's too many debuffs. That's the thing that everybody hates, that we actively try to work against and work around. But for this stage, it's like, no, we want you to pull for something, aka too many debuffs, that you're not even gonna want in any other situation, which just seems, that seems really scummy to me. I'm gonna just say it. It doesn't seem, I don't know if scummy is the right word, but it just doesn't seem like it was well thought out at all. I mean, I don't know how this fight is with Caius compared to how I did it. This team is very good for it though, namely for the second wave. This wave it can get a little dicey because this orb right here, you have to inflict 8 debuffs all at once. That's 4 on each target, but not a lot of people do that. So you gotta be a little careful. We brought a Caius Call because I just so happened to get his LD from the selfie banner. It's the Caius banner, but I'm calling it the selfie banner. She's the prize to me. But realistically, I didn't even need it. I mean, the 35 is the skill, this one right here, that inflicts all the debuffs. The LD doesn't even do that. All the LD does is it breaks them if they have Doom on. But it doesn't do jack shit for the orb. So don't feel like you have to pull for the Caius LD in order to do this. I know you can see in the video that I have it, but we didn't need it. The Caius 35 call is enough. Just barely though for this team. I'll just spoil it now. And I keep falling into this situation. I feel like most of the videos I've made lately, I keep finding myself in this situation where we are one orb tick away from certain death. And that happened again here. Another thing is these guys are really tanky when they're up in the air like this. I was trying to explain that to somebody in the Discord and they kept going like, alright, brave damage up, debuffs, got it. No, it's not that simple. Okay, defense down, got it. No, it's not that simple. You don't just paint them red and go to town. You kind of have to, you kind of got to play it right. I probably didn't even play it right. Like I said, we were so close to dying. I got so lucky on this. Like right now, all I'm trying to do is kill them, but I need A to act first. These things are very strong. They could just wipe you out if they do this right here, this Glow Bladed Crush Plus. They do that back to back, you could just die. But Maria is saving our ass. So thank you, Maria. Big fan of her. Like I said last time, very glad I didn't skip. She proved to be very useful in this fight, even though, I mean, you'll see in the second wave, I definitely made some mistakes. I was a little reserved, more reserved than I needed to be. It's hard to manage, because they're healing, they're turn stealing, they're rebuffing, and if you don't have a team that just has all the debuffs in the world, you kind of have to time your calls appropriately. The calls I brought were Gabrant, Gabrant, Ferris, and Caius were my calls. Just because I have a lot of debuffs, really. It had nothing to do with, like, what the debuffs were, because that doesn't seem to matter. It's just have debuffs on. Yeah, didn't like this one. I'm glad it's over. To summarize, at least my experience, this wave was the scary part, and the next wave was the annoying part. That's what I think. Auron, I think, is undisputed MVP here. Holy shit. Plenty of debuffs, keeping you safe. With all the turn warping in the next wave, Auron is putting in so much extra damage. Because he's not reliant, because Maria, she's reliant on her LD and EX debuffs to keep doing damage, mainly the LD debuff. But with how much they go, and how many turns they steal, they're going to just wipe it. Look, one turn away. Yeah, we didn't even use the Caius LD call. Didn't even need it. Just buy. Just buy. I think I did use it in this wave, but it wasn't necessary. It really wasn't. It helped with some debuffs, but we didn't need it. We had enough without it. Oh, and they also don't take any damage at all unless they're debuffed. See how we're hitting zeros? Yeah, but now that they have a debuff, watch Auron's counter. Now we can hit them. Beautiful. They're going to put healing up, and I think I left the healing on for way too long. I don't know, honestly, I'll be honest, I didn't even know that was the mechanic when I first did this. My first run of this, I was sitting here for like 40 damn minutes, and they were like half dead. I'm like, dude, okay, I'm doing something wrong, like what the hell? And then I went in the Discord about it, and I was talking to people, and then I think it was Kev's. It's like, Kev's just casually brought up the 7 debuffs. I'm like, whoa, wait, that's it? That's the whole thing? It's just... And then it made me... I mean, it helped me, because now I knew what to do, so thank you, Kev, but it also just made me angry. Like, really? That's how they're gonna play this. Just bring lots of debuffs. Who gives a shit what they are? Just have them on there. By the way, pull for Caius. Like, what a terrible way to try to sell a character. I don't know, I just... don't like it. I don't like it. Oh yeah, and they cleanse. See that? They cleanse too. I believe they do that twice. And the thresholds are weird. It's like 89% and 59%, I think. I could be wrong about that, but the thresholds aren't your typical 2. But luckily it's only 2 and not 3 thresholds where they do that, because that would be way too much. Auron doesn't care. He's a badass. Get cracked open. Yeah, a lot of this is just standing here and watching the Auron show. That's definitely a lot of this. And luckily, Auron coupled with Maria, I don't want to say they negate the healing. That would be taking it too far. But they do make it a lot more manageable, because they heal... was it 180k? I believe is what they heal. I guess we'll see in a second, because I forgot. I think it's 180k. Let's see. 180. Yeah, 180k. So then Auron will counter and do just shy of 10k, I believe. Yeah, just shy of it. And then when Maria's debuff is up, that adds a little more to it. So it doesn't completely take out the healing, but it keeps it at bay, having both of them here. So that's pretty cool. I definitely think I left this on for way too long. Because see, this was my problem. Again, too many debuffs. Because this was my problem. I probably just played it wrong, but I wanted to Maria LD right here to get this on. But I wanted to get rid of the healing too. But I was worried that if I would have just used that Ferris call first, it would have framed everything else. And then I would have had too many slots. But looking at it, I think I had 1 left over, so it probably would have been fine. I probably should have just taken the healing off right there. So that's my mistake. We dealt with the healing more than we needed to. But again, it's just... Who likes all these debuffs? Nobody. Nobody. Even the 8 slots isn't enough if you're gonna run something like this. Like, we should be... See, but then that'd be crazy. It'd be like, okay, we should be allowed to have more to give us a little more freedom so we're not constantly pushing stuff off and, like, negating other things that we would want. But then it's like the screen would just be full of debuffs. I mean, look how many there are already, and it's still not enough. That many debuffs right there is still not enough to avoid the turn warping. That's just ridiculous. And on top of that, these bosses look stupid as hell. They're like these flower praying mantis dragon things. These are reskins from the Leon boss from back in the day. It's like they keep going, all right, we designed a boss a long time ago. Transcendence is coming. How can we redesign it and make it look more ridiculous? They keep doing that. It's a pattern with these people. Like, let's take our own creation and just make it look even dumber than it did before. And more threatening. They do that a lot. Okay, so as of right now, the one on the right is not turn warping because he has 7 debuffs. But the one on the left is. Yeah, see, I'm looking at this. Yeah, why did I wait so long? Why did I wait so long? I definitely should have axed that healing so much sooner. This also isn't my first complete run of this. I did one previously. I did a little better by like a couple turns, but nothing to really write home about. But the video stopped because I ran out of space, so I had to go through and beat it again. Which is what you're watching now. This is the second time I beat this, is what you're watching. Usually you do better your second time around, but in my case I did a little bit worse. Whatever though. The deed is done, I'm nitpicking. Will not come back here. This will be a one and done for me. You also might be wondering why I'm not going into Jecht's burst, because they are going to cleanse all their debuffs again at some point, and I don't want Jecht to be stuck in a situation where he's going to town at them while they're not debuffed, because that's really going to kill our output. So I'm waiting until the right moment to do it. Maybe that was being too reserved, but to me it made sense. I know I could have delayed them, but Vanishing Blade does more debuffs, since that's all that matters in this stupid fight. I'm a broken record, I'm sorry, I just keep repeating myself, but... Okay, we're getting closer to that awkward 60% threshold or whatever it is. It is nice that Auron inflicts a debuff whenever he counters, so that one will just never go away. And it's framed too, so that's really helpful for this. But as you can see, it's not even like this wave is a threat. It really isn't. At least with this setup. At least with Auron. Like with Auron, it's not really threatening. Like the main thing is, can you kill them fast enough to outweigh the healing and make the turn count? Luckily the turn count is pretty forgiving, it's 95, so that's a plus at least. They didn't give us some stupid like 60 turn wreck or something. I think, yeah, this one I think was 49, my first one was 46. Could have been lower, but I honestly don't care, not on this. I'm not as like, I don't know. When it comes to Transcendence Reckonings, I'm not as like, oh, but the turn count, like I don't care as much about those. Because usually these aren't really as much about sprinting. It's more so about endurance. Yeah, see? No damage unless they're debuffed, but luckily Auron just took care of that without us having to waste a turn debuffing them. Auron just did it for us. I say I don't care about turn count, and then I say something like that. I can't help myself. Okay, let's get rid of this stupid healing once and for all. Please. I should have done that so much earlier. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, that's why, because he just brings it back anyway. That's why. But I believe now is as good a time as any, since they're done cleansing, to just stack them with framed debuffs so that we don't have to worry about this shit anymore. So let's get your LB up and running. Oh. Alright. Let's get rid of this. Okay, luckily he's got a framed poison. Either way, see, we didn't even need to do that. We already had enough debuffs, so it would have been fine anyway. But I figured it's there. It's a little bit extra damage. I might as well just press it. I have way... Damn, Jecht still has two LDs and his burst, though. So as far as that goes, we're in good shape. To be honest, I wanted to save the summon for this wave and use the burst in the first wave, but it made more sense to me because of how high the defenses are in the first wave, especially when they're in the air. Oh my god. But it made more sense to me to use the summon there so we could at least take some advantage of Maria's battery while we're trying to wear them down and kill them before the orb goes off, as opposed to Jecht just struggling in the burst by himself against their high defenses. I figure since we were going to paint these guys red with debuffs anyway and have them just stay this way, Jecht's burst would serve better here than it would in the previous wave. I don't know if that's the right strategy or whatever. I say the right strategy. We all have our own strategies. I think you know what I'm trying to say, though. I don't know if that was the right call, but to me it just made sense at the time. And regardless, it works. It's not how I normally do things. I usually like to burst and then summon, but desperate times, you know. Speaking of, let's do this. But at this point, all the annoying stuff that these guys do is basically over. We've set it up to where they can't really do what they want. We're in control now. We're gonna have Jecht's burst effect back when we're out of here. They're already under 50% health. We have Auron delays, we have Auron counters, we have Maria battery, we have Maria's traps, and then we also have the other Ferris call that Maria has. We use the first one just to dispel and get the debuffs on, but now as those wear out, when they get down to 1, Maria can just pop the Ferris LB call and refresh all of them. So we do not have to worry about these guys buffing themselves anymore. And luckily there is no orb for this wave, so that's a plus at least. So look at that. They are now under 40. Jecht has a full stack burst effect. We are in great shape. So at this point the battle is kind of already won. It's mainly just getting set up. I feel like most of this battle right here is struggling. It's like a tug of war to even be set up properly. That's what it feels like. Because they do everything in their power to keep you from being set up properly, and it's fucking annoying. But doable. That's right, no more turn warping, no more healing. You guys have been nerfed. I know that Jecht could have broken A back with the Beast Rush and then gotten some more damage off, but I was looking more so at the debuffs. I want A to act one more time so that all those Ferris debuffs can get down to 1. Because then Maria's turn is right there and she can refresh them all, like I mentioned earlier. Probably played that a little too safe, but better safe than sorry. Get See, look at all those frames and how long they're going to be on. We have nothing to worry about anymore. I love when that happens. Their turn comes up, they don't even get to do anything and Maria blows them up. Pretty nice. And it's going to happen again. I think Bart is pretty popular here too, with his burst effect, so I think the idea there is even if they're going to be healing and doing all their annoying stuff, Bart is providing enough support to where you can combat it pretty effectively. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of clear screens for this, so I don't know entirely who people brought. In fact, most of the screens I brought, people brought Caius. Most people that I've seen who have beaten this so far brought Caius. And that's not to discredit those people. I'm not trying to like, I didn't even use the synergy. I'm not even trying to be like that. I'm just saying. Jecht I should be using some skill 1s with Jecht though, just so we could double up and get this done faster. I think that's also part of why this took a little longer than last time, is I was not Jechting properly. But that's okay. Yeah, he still has an LD left, and they're already this close to death. So yeah, I definitely could have been more aggressive in this wave, for sure. That's right, that's right. Get that recovery. Get that break. Maria, you're not gonna get this kill, are you? I love you, Maria, but damage is not your strong suit. This thing is at 1%. And you're not going to do it. That's okay. That doesn't mean you're bad. It just means you have your strengths and your weaknesses. Damage is not one of your strengths. And I don't know what happened here. Why am I hitting 1s and 0s? I don't know what the hell happened at the end right there. No idea, but he's dead anyway, so who cares? Well, that's tier 6. In my opinion, it is the worst tier yet. It is horribly designed, and I hated it. Who'd you guys run? Thank you for watching.